back in the kitchen today. My son and his girlfriend were up this weekend and they had a little request for some pork dumplings, so I thought I would come on here and just show you guys like how to make them. They're pretty simple and pretty versatile, so you can, you know, make wonton soup, just fry some up and have them that way, or whatever you want really. So yeah, let's begin. So we're going to need 1 pound of ground pork, which I have here. We like to ground our own pork. Like when it's on sale, we'll buy like the really big pork loin, and then we'll take it home and we'll make pork chops and ground pork. I like it better that way because it's really nice and lean and they got all the white meat and stuff. I don't really like dark pork meat. So anyway, here we go with our pound of ground pork. 3 cloves of garlic minced. I don't bother to use a mincer anymore. I just chop it really small with like my knife and whatever. I like to chop it up a little bit beforehand. I read somewhere that like 15 minutes maybe before you eat, because garlic has got like tons of you know, inflammatory and things that are good for like preventing cancer and different things, and whatever compound that is, I should have looked it up because I can't remember off my head. Whatever compound that is, they say it really activates after like 15 minutes. So chop them up first, no matter what you're doing. We're gonna have an egg. I actually got some really nice eggs from Noel's farm, like brown eggs, and like just check it out, like the shells are super hard. Gotta do it twice. Yeah, not like the supermarket eggs at all. Like I find lately when I'm buying eggs, the shells are like so thin, like I don't know what they're feeding the chickens these days, but anyway, I like to support local anyway whenever I can, and it's usually cheaper than the supermarket anyway, so like win-win for everybody, right? Yeah, and 2 tablespoons of green onion finely chopped, or chives. I started to chop up my green onions and I'm like, wait a minute, go out in the garden, I got tons of fresh chives that are just starting to flower. They smell really yummy too. So I actually got a little bit more, so I'm going to put so much in, and then I'm going to save a little bit because I like to make a little dipping sauce for after. So in the bowl goes about 2 tablespoons of finely chopped chives, or green onion if you don't have chives. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I like to use light soy sauce. Again, like too much salt is terrible for high blood pressure and different things. Not that I have it or anything, I just don't want to get it. So yeah, a couple of tablespoonfuls of light soy sauce. 1.5 tablespoons of sesame oil. I just buy the PC. Like I've tried like other brand names, they all kind of taste the same to me. So 1.5 tablespoons of that. Go. And the last ingredient is just, you can use a 1/4 teaspoon of like the dried powder. I prefer fresh ginger, but like it's super cheap to buy in the supermarket. I didn't realize, I never used to buy because I thought like that looks like it'd probably be really expensive, but it's not. Super cheap, like under $2 maybe for like a big piece. So a 1/4 teaspoon of dry if you don't have fresh, but if you have fresh, just use like, I don't know, 1 inch. Like I measure like the top of my thumb, I just take that and then I'll finely grind it. You just got to keep in mind that the powder is like a lot more concentrated, so you're going to get more of the ginger flavor. So we're just going to take that then and mix it up. Oh, I forgot my forks. Usually like people just get in there with their hands. I was reading somewhere, they said that you should just use 2 forks, because if you mix around, same as like if you were making a hamburger or anything, and you mix it way too much and way too much, what happens is the meat gets kind of like tough and chewy and yucky. So basically I just want to kind of mix the ingredients in. I don't want to, you know, over mix it. A lot of people say they don't like sesame oil, and I think it's because they probably use it wrong or somebody had too much of it in. It's such a strong flavor, like even in stir fries, you really like just a little bit is plenty. So yeah, so see how quick and easy that was? Got it all mixed up. We're going to take some wonton wrappers. I just buy these little packs in the supermarket. I don't know if you can see. They're the wonton envelope wrappers. Anyway, when I first started to make these, I was being really fancy and stuff, and I would take them with a little cookie cutter and make them the perfect round shape, but it's really unnecessary. But what is necessary is you need like a damp paper towel or something just while you're working. It'll keep the wontons really kind of moist, because if not, they're going to dry out and you're going to have a hard time working with them. So it's so simple. We're going to take that, we're going to lay it right in our palm. We're going to take like a teaspoon. You might even need a whole teaspoon, like maybe even a half teaspoon might be nice, but we'll try a teaspoon. You got to keep in mind that the more filling you put in, the harder it is to roll them up. So then I have a little tiny bowl of water here, and I'm just going to put my finger in the water and put it all around the side, so that when I fold it, it's going to stick together. So basically I'm going to fold it over so it looks like a little triangle. We're going to pinch that. We're going to go pinch, pinchy, pinchy, pinch and pinch. So 2 pinches on one side, and then fold and pinch, and fold and pinch, and you got 2. And so look, you got a perfect little purse. So what I'm going to do now is just continue on, and we're just going to put them and we'll lay them. I like to just have a parchment lined cookie sheet, because it makes so many. You're going to want to like cook some for supper, and then maybe like, I like to freeze them on the cookie sheet and then take them out and put them in a bag, and then that way they're not all stuck together when you're going to use them or whatever. So yeah, so pretty simple. It takes a little bit of practice. I'm kind of used to making these now, but I like only started like, I don't know, a couple months ago, I guess. And they're such a huge hit in the house. And they're like I said, you can make like wonton soup. You can just boil them in some chicken broth if you want to, eat them that way. What I like to do is I will actually put them in the frying pan in a little bit of oil, and I'll keep them kind of stood up like that. And then what I'll do is when the bottom is just about brown, doesn't take very long at all, I'll mix up a little bit of chicken broth, or if I have it already in hand, I'll just pour a little bit in the pan, put the lid on there a couple minutes, and you're good. And they're so delicious. I'm actually going to, I make a little dipping sauce for mine, and I'll show you how to do that too. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, so pinch and pinch, 2 on each side. And of course, I'll pinch the middle first, or they're going to fall apart. So simple, just like that. I know they look so like, I don't know, they look kind of fancy and nice when, you know, I actually chased them down to Costco. I never really had dumplings before. They had these ones down there, and they were so good. I'm like, what's that ingredient in that sauce? I think I can make that myself. And sure enough, I came on home and made it myself. And it's just so much cheaper than, you know, paying 30 bucks for a box at Costco. And it's fresh, and I know exactly what's in it. They say the more hands that pass through your food, the worse it is for you. So I'm like, fresh is best all the way, like with everything. I haven't even bought like a regular loaf of bread, like sandwich bread, and like, it's got to be like at least 10 years. Seriously. And like 10 years ago, I had no clue how to make bread. So, you know, if you're willing to learn, you can do whatever you want. Everyone's like, you know how to do everything. I didn't know how to do everything. I just kind of, you know, taught myself when I stopped hairdressing for a while. I was like, who the hell am I when I'm not a hairdresser? I don't even know anymore. So I just, you know, started doing some crafts and started baking and painting and trying to just figure out, like, what do I do when I'm not cutting hair? Because, like, seriously, lost lost without cutting hair. So yeah, so I got my, you know, happiness in the kitchen after that. And here I am. So I still do a little bit of hair, but not a whole lot. Just enough to keep me kind of satisfied, I guess, because I really, really miss it when I'm not doing it. I don't know if it's doing hair or if it's like the little bit of social interaction or like the face people have on them when they're like, you know, you make them so pretty and they feel so good about themselves, and then you feel so good about yourself because, you know, they feel good, and I don't know. I just love when people are happy. And if I can do anything to make anybody happy, makes my day. Absolutely. I'm actually going to try and plan something really cool this summer. My friend has this really, really old house, and there's no electricity, there's no running water, there's nothing. And so when all of this stuff is over, we actually plan to go down there, and we're gonna have like a little party, and maybe like, I don't know, maybe I'll make something on the old wood stove down there or something, or have a little something outside. Anyway, whatever I do, I'll be sure to share the video, don't worry. I don't know, something about like when you go down there in that house, you're just like, it's just like a step back in time. Like, it's so amazing and so, I can't even describe how you feel down there. We went down there for Old Christmas Day it was, and oh my goodness, like I think it was like the best time I had in like years and years and years, and just the whole simplicity of the thing, and even having to run outside to used to watch them was pretty fun, especially with a couple of drinks in you or something, right? Me and my friend had quite the quite the laugh. Few laughs. Yeah. I don't know. I'm all about teaching someone something new, and if I got anything in my head that you guys want to learn, like seriously, put it there. And if I don't know, like I'll take the time to look it up and I'll learn, and then I'll come on here and I'll teach you how. So, yeah. We're all in this together. We all got to learn somehow. And like, you know, somebody's got to pass it on to the kids and the grandkids, and, you know, I don't know about today's society is so into the TV and the games and just social media in general. And here I am on social media, I know. I don't know, it just kind of saddens me sometimes. You don't see a whole lot of kids outside playing and skipping and jumping, and, you know, I don't even know what it's like to get the phone hung up in her face. Had that happen a time or two. Back in the 80s, of course. Maybe 90s even. Yeah, I don't know. Life is just a little funny sometimes. So I think you can kind of get a gist of what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do is, after I do this one, like I'll continue on because I'm sure you don't want to watch me do up like about 100 or more. So what I do is I'll do them all up on the cookie sheet. I'll keep some in the fridge, of course, because you want some fresh. But then the leftovers, I'll put them in the freezer, and then when they're frozen, I'll take them out and put them in a bag. And then when it's time, like I'll just lay them down in the fridge, and way to go. Super convenient when you have like company coming or something like that. I'm kind of famous for that. Like I might even come on here like next week maybe and show you like cotto gratin or something. Or I'm always like in my freezer, it's full of like buffalo dips, mac and cheese, cotto gratin, dumplings, whatever. Like I just find it really convenient. Like some days if I'm really busy, and then, you know, we have cooked supper every single night in this house. Like we never ever miss a night. And like takeout, couple times a year maybe. Never eat takeout anymore. And like I can totally see the health benefits from it. It's just such like takeout, I don't know, it's such a low food for me. Like even like when I eat in somewhere and it's really dark and you're eating red meat and everything else. Not that I'm against red meat. I loved red meat beforehand. I don't know, I just feel tired and lazy and kind of, I don't know, like you need a great big fat nap or something. So yeah. Anyway, I like to make homemade, and of course hubby really likes it. I'm sure I think he appreciates it. He doesn't say very much. Probably just puts up with me. So yeah, so I'll continue that after, but before that I'm going to just show you afterwards. So when these are done, what I like to do is I'll take them, I'll put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of a pan. I'll brown the bottom, takes about 3-4 minutes. Then I'll take some chicken broth, I'll pour that in like maybe a cupful or so, put the lid on, put the timer on for about another 4 minutes maybe, done. Just like that, just like dinner. And then you can take it then and put it in your sauce, and oh, it's really good, honestly. So the sauce is, and you don't need the sauce like if you're making wonton soup, that's just how we like it. So it's a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Soy sauce light I like to use. If I only have regular soy sauce in the fridge, I will use half soy sauce, half water, just to cut back on the sodium because, you know, the high blood pressure and all that jazz. You don't want that. We're going to take a 1/2 tablespoon of, it calls for rice wine vinegar, which is really sweet. I don't have any on hand right now, so I'm just using just some regular white wine vinegar. So 1/2 tablespoon of that. And then like about a 1/2 tablespoon of chives again. Put that in there. I like to use just a pinch of garlic powder and brown sugar, yeah. This is all the brown sugar I have. I'm thinking it's about a 1/4 cup or so. I don't know, I usually put in about that much, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons or so. Another good trick too, like if you never had brown sugar on hand, you could totally take like a cup full of white sugar, put in a tablespoon or 2 of molasses, stir it around, exact. If you want dark brown sugar, more molasses. If you want light, less. It's super fresh, super soft, super. So, yeah, in there is going the brown sugar. And just like a pinch of chili flakes just for a little spice. And I'm going to mix that up like that. And that's it. I like to mix that up and put it in the fridge, set it aside. Then well actually, you know what? Don't even put it in the fridge. I only put it in the fridge when it's like I'm going to use it again the next day. Because if you put it in the fridge, what happens is the sesame oil kind of starts to harden a little bit. And I don't know. It's just not as good. So yeah. So what I may do, I may or I may not, show you how to cook them on another video. I would cook them tonight, but I don't have anybody coming to eat them for a little bit. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned a little something about that. And yeah, easy as pie, you've got some wontons, so hey, Chinese for everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you learned a little something, and thanks for putting up with my silliness again. Okay, bye.